Hello, Sonder fam. I hope you all are doing wonderful this evening. It is so good to see familiar names in the chat. And also, I see we have lots of new folks tonight, so that is super exciting. My name is Bailey, and I will be your facilitator this evening. So, for those of you who have not attended a Sonder Social before, couple of things just to let you know how this is going to go. Basically, I'm going to lead you through a couple of different activities, some of which are in our journal. I'll kind of set you up for the prompt and then play some music for you to work on the prompt and also interact with people in the chat here, sharing what you're putting down, asking for suggestions, all that good stuff. And speaking of the chat, be sure that you have your drop down there set to everyone. Sometimes Zoom likes to default that to host and panelist. And while my fabulous stage manager, Jennifer, and I will love to see what you're saying, we would like for everybody to see what you're saying. So definitely make sure you have that setting there. And again, Jennifer is going to be helping out in the chat, and I'll be leading you through and popping in the chat when I can as well. So if you have any questions or need anything, definitely let us know. I am dialing in from just north of Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm really looking forward to getting started tonight. One other fun thing is that just by attending tonight, your name is automatically in a raffle for a self-care set. Silk and Sonder will pull those at the end of the month, and one lucky person will get that sent their way. You don't need to do anything for that. You're already entered by being here. So yay. And then as we're going through tonight, feel free to take pictures of what you're working on. You're also welcome to snap, screenshots or pictures of the screen as we're going through as well, so that you can refer back. And feel free to share anything on Instagram. You tag us at Silk and Sonder or in the Sonder Club app as well. So without further ado, we're going to get into our activities and things. But before we do that, I do want to talk a little bit about our theme this month, which is the theme of abundance. Now, I know a lot of folks have been struggling with this a little bit because thinking about kind of growing in abundance and having more of certain things in certain areas in our life sometimes makes folks feel like maybe they're being a bit selfish or a bit greedy. And for me, that's really not where I want to focus on abundance. For me, focusing on abundance really means shutting out that scarcity mindset and moving into a place where instead of focusing on what I don't have or goals I haven't achieved, I'm looking at what I've already done, what I've already accomplished, what I do have in my life, focusing on things from a mindset of gratitude. And when you're not living in that space of constantly feeling that scarcity and feeling like, oh, I'm not in the place I want to be at work, I'm not achieving what I want to in my personal goals, I don't have this thing that or that thing yet. When we shift to more of a place of, wow, look at everything I've done so far and look at what I already have, being in that mindset actually helps us grow and do things more quickly. So that's my mindset on it. But I also wanted to share a few quotes around this as well that maybe did a little bit of better job, like with words than me. So just in case any of these resonate with you, we have an abundance mentality springs from internal security, not from external rankings, comparisons, opinion, possessions, or associations by Stephen Covey. From Oprah here, we also have be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never have enough. From Shelley Sullivan, we have abundance flows in many forms. Do not limit your flow by trying to control how abundance comes to you. Just know that it will come. And finally, abundance comes from within. It comes from thought, intention, attention, and expectation from Deepak Chopra. So hopefully one of these resonates with you. Again, feel free to snap a picture or a screenshot. If any of these speak to you, feel free to write them down in your journal. I was hoping maybe one of those would do a good job at resonating how this theme sort of translates for me. And thank you, Erica. I love my cozy Disney sweatshirt. It's a little chilly here today, so. And I think a quote is maybe a little bit fitting because it's actually going to get us to a fun artistic mindset for our first little activity, which is going to be around abundance. And we'll be completing this just on any blank page in your journal or a blank space if you don't have a full blank page. So we're going to be doing an acrostic poem. So an acrostic poem is where we take a word and then we use each letter of the word to build out a poem. So this is how you would set up your page. You're going to write the word abundance down like this, as you can see on the screen here. And then over to the right, we're going to build something out. So to give examples of different ways you can do that, I've got a couple of examples here. So on the left-hand side is an actual poem that I've built around the word abundance. And then on the right-hand side, I just wrote a word for each one of the letters. Sometimes that feels like a poem in and of itself because there'll be like sort of a hidden message there or a theme you didn't know that you were kind of focusing on in the back of your mind. And then on the very far right, I wrote affirmations. And then there's a word in each of the affirmations that starts with the letter there. So I will give you all a couple of minutes to kind of work on this. Definitely share with us in the chat what you decided to do with yours, how you're coming up with it. If you get stuck on any of the letters and you need some inspiration, feel free to let us know. Everybody's always more than willing to help and share and come up with ideas. So without further ado, I will leave you alone for a little bit and let you work on your acrostic poem. All right. Awesome. Awesome job on this exercise, you all. And I did see a few people said, oh my gosh, this is so cool, but I'm just not in the headspace right now. And that's okay. Sometimes, like, our brains are just tired and they don't have the energy. It's always fine. Anything that we do tonight for you to just take notes, hang out in the chat, come back to it later when you're feeling more ready, more creative, more rested. Um, I did see several things in the chat that were really awesome. One that was shared that was all will be provided, be still, understand that you right now are enough. No need to worry about the future, dwell in the present, and notice all that you are and all that you have. Center yourself in mindfulness, gratitude, and expect that all will be fine. I thought that was really awesome, really cool. That's from Kathy. It really felt abundant to me. Christine's also said, always looking behind, under, don't do that. Stop. You are blessed with abundance. Never do you worry about resources, loneliness. Create a way to realize you have everything you need right in front of you. So I really loved these poems. All of them were amazing. I loved all of the words ones. I loved all the affirmation ones, all of the actual poems. I love acrostics because they always turn out better than you think. There's always something out of them and they just make me happy. So I hope they did that for you tonight. So now we are going to move into our first exercise in the actual journal. It is the Dream Life exercise, and this is on page 19 in your journal. I think that this is going to set us up well to then start working on our vision board. So what it says on the page here is get clear on what you want your life to look like. Who will you be? What will you want to do? And what will you want to have? The trick is not to tie any timeline to this. Dream big. It may happen a month from now or 10 years from now. Just let your imagination run wild. So when you are working on this, so this pyramid, if you haven't seen it before, is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it's based on the principle that we all have these needs in our life, but it's kind of like a pyramid. Before you can start to focus on your safety needs, you have to have your physiological needs met, right? Like you need water, you need to breathe, you need sleep, you need shelter, clothing. And then once those needs are met, you can move on into thinking about security, thinking about stability, predictability, protection, freedom from fear, all of those things. And those blocks of the pyramid are very important, right? They're at the bottom for a reason. They're crucial for us to survive. But I do want to encourage all of you in this exercise to not be afraid to focus on the top part of the pyramid, really leaning into intimacy, friendship, tenderness, love, and belongingness, being a part of something, living in community, thinking about, how you want to grow in yourself, your self-image, the goals you have for yourself, your fulfillment, your understanding, your spirituality, all the different areas of your life. And kind of leaning into what you really want that dream life to look like, right? Like we're going to focus on what we already have in that bottom pyramid and acknowledge that in this exercise, we're not talking about tomorrow. We're not necessarily even talking about 10 years from now, right? This could be 20 years from now. It could be a magical fairy drops down from the sky and you have 3 wishes. Like we're entering into this space where we're giving ourselves permission to really live in that space of abundance. So when you're doing this, don't really think about the how, just think about what you want, right? Who you want to be, the things you want to do, the things you want to have. And this is my page here. So some of the things I want to be is happy, right? It doesn't always have to be like some fancy thing. There are things that I want to be in my career. I want to be a lifelong friend to people. I want to be sort of the start of a familial legacy. I want to be kind. Some of the things I want to do, a lot of them involve travel. I really want to go to all 50 states at some point. I'd love to see the Northern Lights. Being on a game show is sort of a random thing that's on my bucket list. I don't know which one. I don't know how. I don't know when, but it's on there. Some of the things I'd like to have is a long and happy marriage, a Mini Cooper, a garden. At some point, I hope to be a mother and then eventually maybe have grandchildren if that's in the cards for me. I'd like to have a saltwater fish tank and community and more rescue cats. So again, there's a lot of things you can do in this space, but the biggest thing I want to encourage all of you to do is to just give yourself permission to write on the page what comes into your head, what comes into your heart, and sort of move away from that space of, oh, I'm being selfish, oh, I'm being greedy. Because as long as we are acknowledging what we have and understanding and being grateful for that, there's nothing wrong with continuing to dream past that. So if you need to hear it from an actual person, I am telling you now, I give you permission to write your heart's content on this page. And the secret is you never needed permission from me. The permission was with you all along. So I'll put on some more music for you, and then we'll come back in a little bit. We'll get started on our vision board page. Alrighty, welcome back. If you are still working on this page, that is totally fine. You can continue to work on it while I talk here for a second. I just want to make sure that you have plenty of time to at least get started on your vision board. So we're going to go ahead and move into that activity. But again, if you're still working on this, you keep doing your thing. So our vision board activity is on page 16. So kind of flipping back a little bit. Again, I thought it might be good to start with that dream life activity to kind of set us up for the vision board. So what page 16 says is a vision board helps us to stay focused and motivated to reach any goal we can imagine. Draw, sketch, and attach pictures of things that remind you of your goal and how you will achieve it. So this is actually my vision board from last year, or it's the start of it anyway. I was super ready to just dive into my vision board this year, and I'll show it to you here in a few minutes. But I thought it would be good to go back to my vision board from last year to kind of show you how I broke it down, because I had never really done a vision board before until last year. So the first thing I did is I always pick a word for the year, and my word is always sort of tied back to a fictional character. It works really well for me to have like a character that I can think back on and reference for certain situations and things as I encountered them, because it kind of helps to bring me back to center of my intention a little bit more quickly than a word by itself. So last year in 2022, my word was determined, like Harry from Harry Potter. And sort of the reason for that was, I was like, these are my self-care goals. These are my broader goals, my work goals, my brain goals, my event goals. And once I kind of went through that, I was like, man, I really need determination to kind of make all this happen. So that's how I settled on it. And then I just took those goals and I literally wrote them on the vision board, just wrote them out. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can stop right here. You don't have to do pictures. You don't have to do stickers. You can just do words. Some of you all, your handwriting is beautiful. Honestly, it's a work of art all by itself. So you can take this and run with it however you want to, however motivates you. What I did is once I put the words on the paper, I was then able to just go online and search for images that kind of match the words. And I just, snipped different things off of Google and then put them into good old Microsoft Paint and spliced them on top of each other, made this, and then printed it out and stuck it in my journal. So that is what I did for last year. For this year, like I said, I was a little bit more ready because I had done a vision board the year before. So I already knew that my word for this year was balance. So I am trying to be balanced like Anna and Elsa from Frozen. I'm finding balance between independence and community, emotion and logic, planning ahead and living in the moment, control and freedom, fear and bravery, home and work, body and mind, dreams and responsibility, screen time and outside time, reading and podcast, being social and having time to myself, helping others, and conserving my energy, being informed, and personal peace. So I kind of did just a mixture of things. I had some stickers that I had gotten because I knew that I was going to have sort of a Frozen theme for myself this year. So I put some of those on there. I had some other stickers I used. I drew little pictures and wrote words and different things. So again, you can really do this whatever feels fun to you. It's all about whatever reminds you of your goal and inspires you. And on that note, so you can do this around your word of the year, if you have one. You can do this around the dream life that we just looked at on our previous exercise. If you have a very specific goal you want to look at, like returning to school, you can think about the different steps and things you have to do to get there. Like maybe you need a better routine, so you need to focus on your sleep. So you want to put some things around that. Maybe you need to kind of go back and pull some different records and make phone calls. And so you maybe want to put some pictures around that. So it can be a very specific goal. It can be whatever it is that you need. The whole point of this is for you to kind of let go, have fun, and have something that when you come back to it inspires you and reminds you of what your goal is so that you can keep moving towards it. And then these are a few examples that I found in Sonder Club the other day as well. Really different styles, really fun. So I'll go back and forth between all of these examples for you as you work on this, but definitely let us know in the chat, like what goal you're basing your vision board around, how you're deciding to do it. And then we'll come back together and close out for the evening. All right, friends. I love seeing all your different words, all the different ways that you're setting this board up. I know some of you are talking about creating it, taking a picture, and putting it on your phone as a screensaver. That is awesome. Printing it out if you're doing it digitally, transferring it to like a bigger board, putting it in a frame, making copies so that you can like put it at work, put it in the bedroom, put it, in your car. Like, I love that, because really, again, this is all meant to just remind us of like what our intention is and kind of spark a little joy, right? Because you want to feel that like joy and that passion around whatever your goal is, to hopefully motivate us to continue going that way. So if you're still working on yours, that is okay. You can continue to work on it. The goal of tonight was to at least get you started. So I hope that we are able to do that. But our time together is coming to an end. I know it goes by so fast, but we so appreciate you being here with us tonight, and we would love to hear how you enjoyed your time this evening. If there's anything that you would do or change, any feedback that you have for us, there is a QR code here at the top of the screen that will take you to a survey, and Jennifer is going to pop those links in the chat as well. And I apologize if you hear any noise in the background. It is my kitty. He is like, "Excuse me, ma'am, I need your attention." So if you hear anything, that's what that noise is. But we would love to hear any feedback you have for us. We also still have our Refer a Friend program going on, where if you refer a friend to Silk and Sonder and they sign up, they'll get $10 off. You'll get $10 off. Also, if you haven't already, please download the Sonder Club app. Feel free to share your vision boards in there with us, and chat up anytime in between socials. And finally, and maybe most popularly, is that a word? I don't know. We'll go with it. Our YouTube link for the social recordings, you do need that very specific link. So if you use that QR code, bookmark it. Jennifer's going to pop it in the chat. Definitely bookmark it. You cannot search for this. You do have to have the link. But after a few days, all of our socials are typically uploaded there. So if you ever can't make it to one, or if you were in one and you were having such a good time in the chat that you didn't get to focus on the actual content, you can always go back and watch it from there. But it was my absolute pleasure spending the evening with you all. I hope you had such a fun time and that you're feeling very inspired around your visions and your dreams and your goal, and feeling more connected with this theme of abundance. And until next time, we will see you all in Sonder Club.
My skin is glowing, my energy is flowing, confidence growing, glow up is loading. When I look in the mirror, I see everything I want and everything I can ever need. I attract success I achieved. I attracted beauty and I turned into a queen. I dropped all the drama, the focus on me. Let go of what hurt me, the things that no longer serve me. I made myself top priority. I let go of the past, I crossed over the bridge, started loving myself, love the life that I live. For everything I have, I am thankful for it. I know that the universe continues to give. I know my worth is expensive like diamonds. Left all of my exes in the streets crying, cause now I am shining like stars in the sky. They held me back, had to tell them goodbye. I saw past all my limits, opened all three of my eyes. From my past, I continue to rise. I know that everything is gonna turn out just fine. I just ask the universe, and the universe supplies. I am protected, I have my guides. I am worthy, I am divine. I live by the sun, love by moonlight. Life is what you make it, I make mine a paradise. I got that pretty girl magic, I want it, I attract it. I know that the universe has got my back. Turned into a savage, made my own bag. Everything I need, I already have. I let go of the past, I crossed over the bridge, started loving myself, love the life that I live. For everything I have, I am thankful for it. I know that the universe continues to give. I had to let go. you make it, I made mine a paradise. I spy with my little tired eye, tiny as a firefly, a pebble that we picked up last July. Down deep inside your pocket, we almost forgot it. Does it ever miss Wicklow sometimes? They said the end is coming. Everyone's up to something. I found myself around and